Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion. We had 12 bogus receipts turned in, and I think this body should have that information forwarded to the district attorney's office for them to examine it and to see if there is further action that they should proceed with. And I'd like to make that in the form of a motion.
Second.
Motion. We have a motion on the floor, properly second. Commissioner Pinkston.
Yes, I'd like to call Richard up to the stand, please. Richard, is there any possibility that there could be more bogus receipts in?
Those are the only ones we're aware of.
Okay. Mr. Harms?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Harms, it's my understanding that you and John Troyer terminated Cynthia Finch over these receipts. Is that correct?
That's incorrect.
Did she quit?
She resigned.
She says she didn't, but did that lead to the resignation?
Those receipts were the crust of the resignation, and actually, I've got the date notation. I think it was on February the 12th when we were notified of some receipts that just were not, just didn't look legitimate. And we met, actually went down and discussed these receipts with Mr. Walls on that day, looked at the receipts. We could tell that the receipts were not legitimate. The next day we arranged for a meeting, and Mr. Troyer was in the meeting with me for the duration of the meeting. We discussed these with Ms. Finch for about 90 minutes and some other things, and I documented with a client attorney privilege memo to the law office the fact that she had resigned, and Mr. Troyer, I think, documented the same thing. It was basically based on these 12 receipts. We asked her the background and couldn't get a reasonable answer, and suggested to her what would be a good course of action, and she said, I think I should resign, and I accepted it. Then the rest of the story is, I think later on that night she changed her mind, but we didn't change our mind on accepting it.
Okay. Do you think there were any more bogus receipts in these P cards?
I don't know of any. Those 12, just as Mr. Walls said, stood out as pretty flagrant examples of receipts.
Who turned in this bogus receipt on Jay's Megamart?
I don't know if there's a bogus receipt on Jay's Megamart.
It was a receipt for gas, and they don't sell gas. Who turned that receipt in? I would consider that bogus if it, if you turn a receipt in saying you bought gas somewhere that don't sell gas. Would that not? I think that would be bogus.
He got you back with the T-shirt.
Wouldn't you?
I think that was a legitimate. I think there was a legitimate P card charge on that later on when you're trying to document what I think that was part of the documentation where people were trying to say what was that P card charge for, but that was.
And they said it was for gas. Is that correct?
I assume it's correct. I mean, I'm not sure.
I mean, they said gas, didn't they?
I assume they said gas, but that was the best document, the best guess on what a P card charge was for, which is completely different than actually generating 12 receipts that someone produced 12 receipts that basically said, here are the items, here's what they're for, and the receipts were generated. The receipts were produced. The false receipts were produced, and a statement was signed to the auditor saying these 12 receipts matched the P card charges. So those receipts were actually purely fabricated. It was a document you could see, just like this piece of paper.
Well, in other words, we've got no control whatsoever on P cards. If I went down here at Regas, me and my wife, and eat, and I come back and just turned it in and said I was down there on county business or something, then that'd be a legitimate receipt from what you're saying. When you can just go down there, you're saying you can just go down there and come up with a reason what you thought this was used for.
No, I didn't say that.
But you said somebody that y'all come up with the idea that it was for gas. That was the most logical thing you could think of. Mr. Walls, would you come to the stand, please? Did you receive a receipt from Jay's Mega Mart for gas?
No, sir, there was no receipt.
There was no receipt. There was no receipt turned in for Jay's Mega Mart?
No, sir. Now, that was included in an explanation in the response.
What did it say in the explanation?
I believe...
Gasoline?
Tell us where you're going.
I believe it's Exhibit 3-1.
Well, you got a good memory.
I believe it's Exhibit 3-1, 5 of 7. And I might add that was paid back on last week sometime, after we issued the final report. So that's charge number 59, 93005, Jay's Mega Mart 1965, gas only purchase for Knox County vehicle.
How could somebody possibly come up if they bought gas at a place like that and doesn't even sell gas?
I don't know the answer.
Well, what I'm saying is there could be more of these that are just like that. It just so happens these people don't sell gas. That's why we caught this. Is that not correct?
That's correct.
Commissioner Moore.
I'm going to speak against sending something to Attorney General Randy Nichols. I mean, Randy is a capable Attorney General who I'm sure has read the papers. He is aware of what's going on. We can't make a decision on commission how to handle things, and then we pass a censor, and then we're going to tell Randy Nichols to look into it, so we can walk out of here and say we were tough today. So I'm voting. I know Randy Nichols will already looked into it if he's going to. I don't think we need to waste some more paper and people's time to send Randy Nichols a letter.
We have a motion on the floor. Is everyone clear?
Would you define the motion again? It's to ask the law director
Either ask the law director to send the audit over to the district attorney about the 12 bogus receipts and to have him investigate it and deal with it however he feels proper.
I have a motion on the floor properly. Second. Do you have another question?
Yes, I want to ask Richard some more things here in just a moment.
Is this on this motion?
No, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, could I ask the law director just to weigh in on what Mr. Nichols might or might not do?
He will look at it. He may take it to the grand jury to see if there's probable cause that a crime has been committed. There's a reasonable doubt standard, but I'll be glad to send it to him for your wishes, and he can make that judgment.
That's his determination.
It is.
Will you report back to us?
Oh, definitely.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
We have a motion on the floor. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? One no. Passes 16 yes, one no.